Boo! Hi there guys, thanks for tuning in to Lenny the Bear. My name's Murphy, and today we're going to be talking about a little game that's just come out this week, Gears of War 4. Now specifically I'm going to be talking about the story to this game and going to be talking some big spoilers and where it fits into the rest of the series. So obviously a spoiler warning is in effect. If you haven't played the game yet, what are you doing? Go and play it, it's brilliant. What is the story to Gears of War 4? Well, it's set 25 years after Gears of War 3. You play as JD Phoenix, who is Marcus Phoenix's son, and you are a part of this group called the Outsiders, and your people are taken, so you go to Marcus Phoenix and get his help, and then he gets kidnapped, and then you go save him, and then you find out that it's these monsters called the Swarm that are doing all the kidnappings, and then you go and find your teammate Kate's mother. She dies, and then it's the end. But let's backtrack on that one for a bit, okay? So the opening of the game is brilliant. You have all these flashbacks and you get to see other parts of the Gears of War universe, and then you also get to revisit some places from the old games, and it's just, it felt so good to go back to those places, like House of Sovereigns from Gears of War 1, you had that place from Gears of War 3 that I can't remember the name of right now, and you also got to go to Astro Fields, which is really cool, because we've never seen that in the game. The first big spoiler, which happens probably about halfway through the game, is when it's just shortly after you come up against the new enemy called the Swarm. It's this big bombshell, and you find out they're the Locusts. Surprise! Of course, if you looked at any of the pictures, you could probably tell, because they look identical. There's also a bit of a reason written into why they are like that and how they've come back, because in Gears of War 3 you were supposed to kill them all and destroy them all. Turns out that they've basically been hibernating for 25 years, and then they sort of metamorphosize into these new creatures. They're pretty fun to shoot, and they've got some pretty good classes. You know, from a gameplay point of view, they're really fun to fight. From a story, it was fine. You know, it wasn't the greatest, a bit flimsy, but hey ho. Now, if you remember from the other games as well, the Locust always had this character that acted as like the face that you could identify with. So Gears of War 1 you had General Ram, Gears of War 2 you had Scourge, Gears of War 3 you had Queen Mira, and Gears of War Judgment you had that random dude. Who really remembers Judgment, honestly? But Gears of War 4 you have this character called the Speaker, and yeah, honestly the guy wasn't that great. He shows up about an hour into the game, first time around. You don't see his face, and then the second time he shows up, he speaks, which is weird because none of the other Swarm speak. And then, yeah, after he says like 2 sentences, you kill him. Great. Really going to remember that dude in a few weeks. The Swarm do come off, though, in a better light, because this is a 24-hour period. Like, it's a 1 day, 1 night sort of deal, and you first come up against the Swarm in the dark, and you play against them most of the time in the dark. So they're these really great enemies, and there's some great moments where you're fighting them, and there's times where it actually did get quite creepy and quite horrifying, you know, and that's good. That's good that Gears has gone back in that direction. Obviously, not playing as Marcus Phoenix in this game, you actually get to see him from a new perspective. He's one of the supporting characters. He's an AI control companion that follows you as part of your squad, and yeah, it's really good seeing him. Like, he's actually changed quite a bit since you last see him in Gears of War 3. Obviously, he's an old man now. He's been living as a hermit. Unfortunately, his wife, Anya, died. Never forget. He's spent the past 25 years, instead of being a good dad to JD, he's been looking after tomatoes. Obviously, playing as this new character, JD, you kind of hope that he's going to be a good character, and he's been getting some stick from some of the videos that I've seen online, but I actually really liked him. You know, some people have been criticising he's a little bit like Nathan Drake. He even sounds like Nolan North. I had to check to see if he was. He's not. I thought he made a pretty decent main character, in my opinion. I really enjoyed playing as him. And the banter that he has with Kate and Dell, who are his 2 teammates, who are the 2 characters a second player can jump in as. They're all pretty cool characters. I really enjoyed sticking around with them for about 10 hours, which is about how long the campaign is. One thing that it did nail with the smaller scale was the other 3 games, so Gears 1, 2 and 3, all follow pretty much the same sort of story. Here's a WMD, here's the Locust, take the WMD to the Locust, and they're dead until next time. And Gears of War 4 really doesn't do that. It's, again, it's just about finding your friends and family and finding your group and finding out what the swarm is, and you know, that's it. It's not about trying to kill off the swarm forever. That's not it at all. And I really, really liked that it's not about that. That it was this smaller, more personal story. It had more time for these personal moments. But again, those personal little scenes weren't overbearing. Like, they didn't take up the whole game. This is Gears of War at the end of the day. We still want these quips and these one-liners and these people just being bros. You know, that's what you want. That's what you go into these games for. Towards the end of the game, that's then when you get a little bit of fan service as well, which I really enjoyed as a long-time Gears of War fan. When old characters like Baird and Cole showed up. You also got to see Sam. She only showed up originally in Gears of War 3, so she wasn't as memorable, but it was great seeing the old characters come back. Like, I always love it when games do that. And they did it really, really well. They still had all the old humour. They brought all the old voice actors back, so, you know, it just brought back so much nostalgia of the first game when you just saw these characters come back. Even if they did feel a little shoehorned into it, like, I really didn't care. I was really glad to see those characters pop up again. Of course, the whole point of those characters showing up in the game was that one of the new characters, called Kate, you have to go and save her mother. That's pretty much the final bit of the game. That's the whole climax, is to try and find her. And that's where things got really, like, a bit sequel baity. I sort of guessed when it was hinted at that the Swarm were planning to do something else with Kate's mother, Raina. I thought, hey, maybe they're going to turn her into the Locust Queen. They're trying to resurrect her. Turns out, like, that's kind of what it was suggested as. They never fully say that's what they're doing, but it certainly hints at that. Obviously, the ending, she gives them that little medallion thing to Kate, and she turns it over, and the final shot of the game, just before the credits roll, is the Locust symbol. I'm glad they're addressing that from the original games. Like, why did the Locust Queen look kind of human? So, again, we don't know what that is, and again, they're setting up for future Gears of War games, which, you know, I guess they kind of have to. Microsoft needs more money. The whole ending of the game is seeing one of the characters kill her mum. You know, it's quite a big deal. Quite an emotional ending to a Gears of War game. I was quite surprised by that. Do I think it's going in the right direction for future games? Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was more Gears. It was Gears back on form as well. Of course, we had Gears of War Judgment in 2013, but that just didn't make the impact that Gears fans like myself wanted. So it's good to have this game back in terms of the story, and I can't wait to see where they take it. Ultimately, is it the best Gears of War story? I don't know. Probably not. I still think Gears of War 2 holds that honour. I mean, you just can't beat some of the big moments that story had. But this is certainly up there. This is a really, really good Gears of War game, so if we get a few more of these in the next few years, hell, I'll be happy. What do you guys think? Do you think this was a really good story? Do you think the Coalition could have done better? Do you think they've completely ruined the series? Put your comment down below, and if you enjoyed the video, then give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. See you later.
Fucking tomatoes! They fucked my tomatoes up! God damn it! I grew those from Dom seeds! Fuck! Those are Dom's goddamn seeds, for Christ's sakes! Damon Baird, you're a cock!
Boo!